Hello everybody, Dylan here today. Now normally we read creepypastas on the channel. Creepypastas that were supposed to be scary, but ended up being hilariously bad. Today we are going to be reading a Trollpasta. Trollpastas are purposely made to be bad. So I'm sure this will be fun. Tell me if you like it after the video's done if you do. Today's Trollpasta is called Sonic.exe. I'm back. I'm sure this is going to be great. Oh yeah, and a little bit of a disclaimer. Trollpastas are very crude, very rude, very sexual, so if you're a younger viewer, you might not want to watch these, because it's going to be using a lot of language that you shouldn't be hearing, and I'm sure your parents wouldn't like you hearing, so if it's okay, then you can stay around. But if you're gonna get in trouble, you might want to click off. My friends have been telling me about this very popular creepypasta called Sonic.exe, popular in 2012. I love creepypastas. I feel sorry for you, but I've never read Sonic.exe before. So when I went to the creepypasta wiki, to my surprise, they didn't have it. It was deleted by an administrator for quality reasons. Yeah. Quality reasons indeed. I contacted Tom himself about this. I know Tom's name even though I didn't read the story. Brilliant checking. And he said in a weird voice, Kyle? I asked Tom if Kyle was a Sonic fan and he said no. I did some research on Kyle and discovered he had a wiki account. I jumped off my PC and checked the mail because my Sunny D spilt on the keyboard. You check the mail because your Sunny D spilt on the keyboard. Lovely. As I was walking towards my mailbox, a man approached me and sexually assaulted me with a rifle. I thought it was just bad luck. Yeah, bad luck. So I ignored it. I opened my mailbox and found a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it had an image that showed a bad recolored of Sonic pictured. I thought this was very cool. I ran back inside and popped the game in my disc. I saw the character select screen and it showed Sonic with blood red eyes. I freaked out and dropped my Sunny D in my lap and got third degree burn. Third degree burn from Sunny D. Text appeared and it said on the screen, "You're not too fast for me." I jumped up out of the chair and emptied my kidneys, meaning that he pissed himself. I ran down the basement and I saw an average, normal, everyday plushie of Sonic just standing there. I said hello, and the plushie laughed at me and chopped on my manhood, penis and balls. My penis was bleeding and I yelled for my dog, Dickard, for help. Dickard ran down the stairs and sure enough, Sonic kills the Sonic plushie. Sonic kills the Sonic plushie and was drinking my Sunny D. I got up and splashed penis blood on Sonic. He just got a bazooka and blew up my basement. R.I.P. Dickard. I ran up into my room and tripped on the stairs, and Sonic spread my ass cheeks and poured Sunny D into my asshole. I kicked Sonic in the face and stabbed him with a lunchbox. I was slowly dying because of my allergic to Sunny D. Allergic to Sunny D, and you've been drinking it the whole time. But all of a sudden, Tom busted through the door and sexually assaulted Sonic with a knife. I showed a crucifix to Sonic, and the crucifix didn't kill Sonic, it killed Tom, because we all know how unholy he is. Today's Trollpasta is very special because throughout all of my channel I've read Sonic.exe knockoffs, Sonic.exe parodies, but I never actually read a Sonic.exe story. Today's story is a Trollpasta about Sonic.exe. This story is going to be taking the events of Sonic.exe and rewriting them, putting a new twist on it. It's really short, but I'm sure you guys are going to like it. Sonic.exe, the real story. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I love the newer games and I never played the classics. I don't think I've ever played any of the classic games because they look too old and outdated. It was a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Lost Worlds for the first time when I noticed the mailman driving up to the mailbox. He put the mail in the mailbox and left to deliver more mail because that's his job, to deliver mail, because he's a mailman. I went to get the mail and I saw a yellow envelope with a note from my long-lost friend, Kyle. I haven't spoken to Kyle in a year, but somehow I recognize his handwriting, though it did look weird. It looks scratchy, like he had to do it in a hurry. Maybe he wrote it while taking a shit. I don't know. This is what he wrote. Tom, destroy this game as soon as you get it. If you don't, you could be killed by a Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. Please destroy it, smash it, burn it, piss on it, for all I care. Do something. Please, ... Kyle. The note scared me. I opened the CD case and saw a CD that said Sonic 1 on it. It looked like it was written on with a magic marker. I took the game out to my backyard and placed it on a perfectly cut tree stump. I went into the shed and pulled out my trusty sledgehammer. I took the sledgehammer and continuously kept beating the game until it shattered into a million pieces. After that, I took the pieces and placed them into a burning barrel where I had a bonfire later that night. At 11:52 p.m., I put the fire out and I went to bed. I had happy dreams for the rest of the night. The end. So, with only one spelling mistake I noticed, it said or instead of for, this is actually a really good troll pasta. He makes fun of the original writer JC the Hyena by saying that he didn't like the classic games at all when JC was obsessed with the classic games. He changes the story to where it makes sense that the mailman would deliver mail. I don't know why he hyped it up to begin with. And he actually just took Kyle's advice and smashed the game from the start. This is a perfect satire. It wasn't too ridiculous. It wasn't too vulgar. It wasn't too just out of the ordinary. It was just a nice little translation. It was a good parody of Sonic.exe. Sonic.exe is ridiculous, over the top, stupid, and cliched. This is a nice little simple story to make fun of it. It's what would happen if any rational person got that note and that disc in the mail. They would smash it. Today's Trollpasta has some screenshots to go with it, so I'll be showing that along with my usual generic footage. So I hope you guys enjoy this Trollpasta. It's called Sonic the Hell Killing Hog. I'm a really big Sonic fan. I have been a fan for 5 years. My first Sonic game was Sonic Generations, and I really liked it. So I thought it'd be cool if I could play the first Sonic game, but I don't have a Sega Genesis or Sonic 1, so I went to go look for some yard sales. Just saying, I know this is a troll pasta, but Sonic 1 is packed in with Sonic Generations. So for anybody who might not know that, enjoy it. As I was walking down the sidewalk, I noticed a house that said yard sale inside. Never trust a house like that. That's usually pedophiles. So I knocked on the door and no one answered, so I walked in. Saw the weird old man sitting behind the table with a box that said open beware. I was curious to see what was in the box. I asked the old man what was inside of it. He didn't say anything. When I said what was inside of it, he just made a really scared face looking at the box. So I opened it, and inside was the first Sonic game on the Sega Genesis. And I asked how much it would be, and he screamed really loud. He said, "Get that thing out of here!" So I ran out as fast as I could, and I ran home. Does he hate Sonic or something? Why did he scream? So I am at home, and I have the Genesis hook. I'm ready to play the first Sonic game ever made. Can I handle it? Should I play it? Will I be good at it? I'm not sure. So I'm at the title screen and Sonic looks sad for some reason. I didn't know why, so I started the game. It took me to Green Hill Zone as usual. The water in the background was red. Does that mean it's blood or something else? Sonic was crying and there was hyper-realistic blood on the ground. I pressed the A button and Sonic didn't move. I pressed all the buttons and the text box popped up and it said return the game or else. I was really scared of what might happen next. I pressed the A button again and this time something terrible happened. Sonic got one of the little animals and drowned in the lake of blood. Then Tails came crying really hard and then Sonic had sharp teeth and bit Tails' head off. That's a bit extreme. And at that moment I turned the game off and returned it back to the old man. I am now going to bed. As I'm sleeping, I hear a gooey noise coming from the living room. I walked into the living room and the Sega Genesis was leaking hyper-realistic blood. The end. This story is called Sonic Death Blood.exe. One day I was playing Super Mario 64 on my Nintendo 64 when a guy knocked on my door. We're already starting off with a lovely poem. I let him in and he handed me a game and he said, This is an evil game. You must never play it. Satan! And then fell into the pits of hell. Being the curious bitch I was, I decided to play the game. It was a CD-ROM with marker writing saying Sonic Death Blood.exe. Being curious and fearful, I started the game up on my iMac, and there was your ordinary Sonic, but Sonic had black eyes with red pupils and blood dripping from his eyes. He was fucking evil, I screamed. Shit, Sonic had killed everyone in the game, but there was something weird happening. I shut off the game and I went outside for some fresh air, but what was weird is blood flooded up to 3 feet high. I thought to myself, what the hell? Oh crap, everyone's dead. I was the only one left now. It's your turn, said the evil Sonic. I said, I don't think so. I threw the game into a nearby shredder, and the evil Sonic faded away, but that bloody evil motherfucking Sonic is still out there, plotting its revenge. Now, last week I announced that I was having a Sonic Mania Crappypasta contest, where you could write either a Trollpasta or a Creepypasta, and I would read it if it was good, and then we would decide who the winner is, and they would win a prize. Now, it appears that the Trollpasta wiki agreed with who I thought was the winner, because every other article got deleted except for this one. Now, I'm letting you guys know this. I read all of the stories, and this is the one that I wanted to be the winner. It's totally coincidental that Trollpasta agreed with me. So, I'm gonna announce the winner right now. The winner is Sonic Kiko, and his story is called Dead Sonic Mania Spooky. Hi, my name is Generic White American Girl number 69. I was trying to download Sonic Mania on my Windows XP when I suddenly find out that I needed Wi-Fi to play the game. Oh no. So I decided to download a crack. When the crack installed, I decided to start up the game. That was my first mistake. When the title screen appeared, it said Dead Son Mania Spooky. I was shocked. I started at Green Hill Zone. How original. And then, out of nowhere, Sonic.exe appeared. I was teleported to Sonic.exe's dimension, and I saw terrifying images. No, not Sonic 06. No, not Sonic Boom. Not Sonic. I saw cringy Sonic Deviant art. Oh, the horror. I was spooked by that. I decided to turn off the PC, but it didn't work. So I plugged off the plug and my PC shot down. That was my second mistake. I looked in my room for the baseball bat, but what I found was terrifying. I saw Sonic.exe eating my Sunny D while rubbing his balls on my baseball bat. He decided to sexually hug me because I was a girl, so I called for my friend, an expert in everything Sonic, Sonic Kiko, the creator of this fucking story. He told me to let Sonic.exe fuck me fast because he is Sonic, so the pleasure was only gonna last 1 second because he is too fast. So me and Sonic.exe did it, but I didn't want to, so I grabbed my Sunny D and used it on my body. And Sonic.exe died because he was allergic to Sunny D. I decided to rub his dick on my boobs so he could die faster because they were full of fucking Sunny D, and Sonic.exe died. So I decided to go to the Steam office and give the game back. The problem is, I only play video games, so I never go out. Because of that, I had one shirt that got ripped off because of the Sonic.exe attack. I was naked, but I didn't care. I went in front of Bill Gates and said, what the fuck is this shit? He said that Sonic Mania had DRM. I don't care if it has DRM or a dick in the game. I just want to know why Sonic.ixi was in the game. He said, I don't know, ask your friends, bitch. So I did what he asked. I asked my friends if the copies of Sonic Mania for the PlayStation 69 had the same problem, and they said, what the fuck is Sonic? I was shocked. Those aren't my friends. It turns out I was in the wrong neighborhood. So the real Sonic Mania game was in my real house. I was in the house of a girl named Sally that was just like me, but she played crap, aka EXE games, and she was horny for Sonic.exe, so I decided to watch her adult images, and I found Sonic.exe hentai. I decided to fap to it, and I did it because I didn't had sex for the first time, and I was almost 18. In conclusion, today having sex with Sonic.exe is great. If you want to kill Sonic.exe, use the fucking Sunny D, and do not play Sonic Mania.exe edition with the bonus hentai, or else you will be teleported to the wrong neighborhood and you will probably die. The fucking shitty end. Today's Trollpasta is called Eggman06. So I went to play Sonic 06 on my Xbox and I put in the disc, and Bill Gates came into my house and told me to go fuck myself. I cried on my Xbox and it broke. I got a new one and smashed the old one to get the Sonic disc out. However, the game was now Eggman 06. I turned on the game, and all it showed me was Eggman's jaw unhinging like a snake, and a red foam came out. Eggman screamed for 5 minutes. I vomited everywhere, and Eggman came out of the screen and strangled me. The last thing I saw was him dusting off his hands and jerking off on my dead body. Then my ghost rose from my body, and I saw Eggman dancing to I Am the Walrus, and it was so scary. He went to a feminist convention and killed Sonic there. I hate eggs now. Today's story is going to be Sonic.jpg. Hello, my name is Ernie. I am a mega fan of the Sonic series. I have almost all the games. You name it and I have it. But almost does not mean all. You're probably asking, Ernie, what Sonic game do you not have? My answer is Sonic 3D Blast. My story begins a decade ago. I went to some old dude's garage sale and found Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Genesis for about $6. Without hesitation, I bought it, even though the cover was a bit off. For starters, it had pitch black bleeding eyes with red pupils. It said, "I will kill you," under the Genesis logo. The dude in the background had the same eyes, and it was rated Y for "You're next." But as most cliches go, I thought nothing of it. When I arrived home, I instantly went to my Genesis and just threw it in there. When the game booted up, instead of some dude screaming Sega, he screamed Satan. This was spooky. I just wanted to turn it off, but in normal cliche fashion, I didn't and just thought it was a bug. Big mistake! Exclamation point, number 1, exclamation point. The first cutscene played out, and that seemed off too. The forest was on fire, and Sonic had a bloody knife, and the flickies looked bloody and bruised. Oh lordy Jesus, I screamed as I took out the game and smashed it into pieces. I came into my living room to clean up the broken game, but then a spooky skeleton popped out and ate my skin. Now I am a skeleton writing this. The end. So yeah, that was Sonic.jpg. What did I think of this story? It was an alright troll pasta. I really liked it. It had the stupid name with dot whatever at the end of it, and the story ended with a spooky skeleton popping out. It was a pretty good parody overall. Today's troll pasta is Sponic.abc. Now this is a parody of Sonic.exe, and it will be the closest I've ever gotten to reading Sonic.exe, and probably be the closest I will get to reading Sonic.exe for a while, because Sonic.exe is a really long, repetitive, boring, and very terrible story. So it's gonna be a while till I actually get the courage to read that one. God, it's hard to find a good place to start. I'm the world's hugest, most humongous, biggest, gigantic Sonic fan in the world. You guys know me. I'm that creepy kid who writes smut about Sonic and Shadow on fanfic websites, creates shitty fan characters on DeviantArt.com, and pairs them up with actual characters. Starts flame wars with anyone who disagrees with my opinions. Yeah, I'm just your average Sonic fan. This is only the beginning. Trying to relieve my nostalgic moments, I was looking for my copy of Sonic the Hedgehog, the greatest game of all time, when I heard a knock at my front door. I jogged down to my back door and found there was no one there. I figured the knocks must have been coming from upstairs, so I looked up there and there was no one. Then it hit me. I hadn't looked at the front door yet. I ran as fast as Sonic to the front door, only to find that creepy mailman. That damn bastard always comes to my house and puts stuff in that box. I don't know, I think he's after me. He handed me a package. I was totally freaking out now. Never has he walked up to my house to give me stuff. I pepper sprayed him, slammed the door shut as he rolled around screaming like a little twit. It was from my best friend Kyle. I opened it up to find a disc and a note. The disc was plain and was written on it with a black marker. On it was written, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god, just what I was looking for. The blandness and obvious handwritten text must have meant it's a legit copy. I took a look at the note. It was written seemingly fast. The writing was shaky and poorly spelled. I couldn't recognize the handwriting as my friend's, let alone read it. It must be from my best friend. friend Kale. The note read, Tome, you's got to destroy the disc. I tried to, but he was way too fast for me. Hurry, destroy the disc now before he gets you too. Love, Kale. I figured he must have been high again and turned on my computer and put the disc in. No copyright law in the universe is gonna stop me. Putting that damn thing in was such a tasking job. The disc tray stuck on my finger and I couldn't get it out. I ended up ripping off my finger and bleeding all over the place. No matter though, onto the game. I saw the files type and noticed that it was spawnic.abc. I came to the conclusion that it was just a typo. I loaded up and started normally. I pressed the start and my amazingly awesome brain camera saw that for a split second and saw lots of blood everywhere. Sonic's gold ring was rusted, the sky had darkened, and the corner read Sega 666. Sonic fur was darkened and stained with blood. Worst of all, his eyes. They were black with red glowing dots. Nah, this must have been a glitch. The title screen had the background Stardust Speedway. Tails and Knuckles and Gasp Robotnik were in the TV file things from Sonic 3. It only let me play as Tails at first, so I selected him and I heard a laugh. Is this part of the Sonic the Hedgehog Game Boy game? It's so glitchy. The stage was called Teacher Teacher and Tails was shown in Green Hill Zone. Sonic stood in front of him with a blackboard. It paused for 1,000 I'm just gonna read it like this: 1, 5, 6, 7, 6, 8, 9 seconds. Then Tails started crying for some reason. He seemed to try to reach out to Sonic with his loving expression on his face. I felt so scared for him. I yelled at my computer for him to run, but Sonic continued to sit at the blackboard. Soon he started to scratch it, making a non-16-bit noise. Then Tails' head went boom. I saw his organs spew everywhere, and a glob of blood hit the screen. It dripped off, and I heard a scream. It showed was written on the blackboard. It said, then the screen showed the text, failed my test, wanna try again? It returned to the menu select. Tails' TV file thing was, no, Tails' fur was black, and he was all bloody. I pressed on Knuckles, cause you know, curiosity got to me. Knuckles' stage was all like the scrap brain zone, and blood was everywhere. Knuckles looked angry at Sonic. It was almost like in my fanfic when Knuckles caught Sonic cheating on him with Tails. Anyways, Knuckles tried to punch Sonic, but Sonic dodged it and shook his head no. Then he got his board and it said, tried too hard, one more chance. Then he kicked Knuckles in the face and his foot went right through. Awesome! The screen faded to black. I heard a scream. Knuckles looked like Tails. I shut off the game and went to take a nap. The excitement made me piss my pants. I dreamt about Sonic teaching me, you're not doing it right, he pointed out. Not doing what right? You're all not doing it right. Then he ran up and bit off my head. Whoa, man. I went to play some more. Then I could play with only Eggman. He too was being taught by Sonic. The floor was checkered and the walls were purple with torches and blood was everywhere. And more blood too. Eggman kept shouting, get a load of this! Sonic just sat by his board smiling with a devilish grin. Like this, see? And then he puts the letter D capitalized. Then Sonic pulled off his mustache and strangled Robotnik with it. The screen went dark and the text on the board read, do it right, Tome. Ready for round 2? Playtime is over. I screamed and ran faster than Sonic away from my computer. I got a hammer, ran faster than the speed of sound, back to my computer and smashed it. It exploded for some reason. When I poured my Kool-Aid all over the screen, it exposed the circuit board and my face burnt off. I forgot I was still bleeding and got dizzy, so I went to take another nap when I saw a Sonic plushie sitting atop my bed with bleeding eyes. I ran out of the house and never looked back. My house exploded and I saw it crumble. I've been on the run ever since. Sonic has been after me. This is 100% real. I tried posting my story on every site I could find, but no one would take it. I thought this site might be a good bet. Please, if you ever find this godforsaken disc, don't do anything to it. It's a wonderful game. I know this other guy named Tom got the game too. He posted his story and everyone makes fun of it. And mean people like Yuri Win, everyone on this site, everyone who has ever read it, even me, make fun of him. And he's now dead. Poor Tom. Tome. So yeah, this is a good parody Trollpastas. It's not like the other Trollpastas we've been reading where they're just extremely absurd and they've made up their own plot. This one literally retold the story of Sonic.exe, but changed the character names, changed some of the stuff that happened, and made it extremely silly. And I really liked it. This is probably the closest I will get to reading Sonic.exe for a while because, like I said before, it's a really long story and I don't want to commit to reading that garbage. Today we are going to be reading a Trollpasta. This Trollpasta was actually written by one of my fans, and that fan being DA Classic Gamer. So we're going to read this. It's based on my playthrough of Sonic 2 Forces, which is a hack of Sonic 2 which gives it the physics of Sonic Forces. If I want to, I might have the gameplay up so it at least fits it, but this is all references to my gaming channel. Here's the creepypasta. Hello there, my name is Dylan, insert last name. I like Sonic and stuff. One day I went to the flea market to find a Sonic game, and I did find one. It was a copy of Sonic 2. There was an old man, which was totally original, and he said, "Take this shit, I have no life." So I shrugged it off like a dumbass and took the cartridge home and jammed it into my Sega Genesis, and when I turned it on it said Sonic.exe 66666 mega spooky. I shrugged it off again because creepypasta. I played the game. While it was off it was fine, but then I made it to Chemical Plant Zone and came across a slope. I thought I would go up it, but I couldn't. I didn't know what was happening. My mind got fucked. Then I saw Sonic.exe and Tails doll on the screen for 1 millisecond and I was spookified. I'd never seen anything spooky in my life. Then I buried the game. When I woke up, it was right next to my bed. I hope this story taught you a lesson. Classic Sonic Forces physics are shit. Also, I mean, no offense to Dylan as a person, he is a great guy and makes great videos. Thank you very much. Now today we're going to be reading yet again another fan-made Trollpasta. This Trollpasta also relates to my playthrough of Sonic 2 Forces Edition. This one was written by user Dead Memes and it's called SonicChan2.std. Once upon a time, I bought Sonic 2 Forces Edition and I played it on my Sega Pico, and soon Dr. Robotnik came and made the game. Dr. Robotnik, Avalanche, and Kirby was dead on the title screen, and Robotnik Claus Cage won, and I was sad. So I played Sonic 2, but Kirby was, and my genitals was made my room flooded with Sunny D. I soon saw Sonic in Mario clothing, and he said was a me big boy, and Red M&M came and jizzed on my carpet. Me and Sonic battled, and Sonic decided to hang himself and decided to play Fortnite. After all this, Tails came and said, "Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. The end. I'm gonna get laid." Now, I really didn't expect to hit 20k so soon. It seems like just yesterday we were at 1k, now we're all the way up to 20k. I knew it was gonna happen later this year, but I didn't expect it to literally happen the next month. And I don't really have anything planned for the 20k special, which that's what this is right now. So mind me for improvising here. I'm going to be reading a Trollpasta. Hopefully that will do for a 20k special. I know that's a big number and it really means something, but I just can't record anything too big right now. And yet again, I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed. Let's get into reading this Trollpasta. I was playing some retarded game called Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What kind of pothead came up with that? While I was playing this awful game, Tails started bleeding! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point 1. Oh my gosh! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point 1. Then Sonic jumped out of the TV and tried to kill me. Oh shit! I ran out of the kitchen and drowned Sonic in the kitchen sink. Then I went back to my room and Tails jumped out of the TV. Oh shit, I'm dead. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, 111, the end. Today's pasta is called Sonic Adventure Lost Errors. Part 1. Hey, let me start by saying I prefer you know me as Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm not a big Sonic fan, and I don't know what is 4Kids or Sonic X. Sonic Boom I watched. It started mid-2016 when my friend, who we will call Waluigi, bought a Sega Dreamcast and the game Sonic Adventure off eBay. Okay. It was awesome. He invited me and my friend to... He invited me and my friend, who we will call Solid Snake, to go to his house. We put the game disc into the console. The quality was horrible and the cutscene was skipped. We then played the game, but the title screen was photo negative. We all assumed it was a glitch. To be continued. Part 2. We saw a save file. We pressed on it, but it made the game crash. We were shocked. We rebooted it, but the save file was missing. Snake said, "What the hell is going on?" We created a new save file and played as Sonic. The cutscene was skipped. The boss was Chaos, but he wasn't attacking. I was shocked. We then heard a cry, which sounded horrible and terrifying. We were scared, so we tried to turn it off, but nothing happened. Then it said kill Chaos. Sonic grabbed a Walther PPK 9mm pistol and shot Chaos. There was blood everywhere. The screen cut to black. A message pooped out saying, "Fuck all of the non-believers." It then took us back to the character select screen. Now, Tails was unlocked, so we played as him. He then saw a gun and it said Bulgaran Markov with 999 ammo. We then played a stage called Dead Man, where it seemed normal, but the music was reversed. Tails then saw Sonic, who was crying, and saw Robotnik, or Eggman. Tails shot Eggman, then blood splattered out. Ouchie. I then said, "What the fuck?" To be continued. Part 3. We decided to play it out, because we could shit our pants if we continue playing his game. We turned off the console, but it refused. A message said, "You bastard people have to finish this shit game or else you will die." Holy fucking hell. We were scared, but did not give a shit. We played it, so I can plot. We then said, "Oh my fucking shitty god, why must this happen?" We were scared, so we grabbed the hammer and tried to smash the TV, but it did not work. To be continued. And that was the whole story. This story was terrible even for Trollpasta standards. I like the idea of shitting your pants playing the game. I like the idea of it being introduced as Shadow the Hedgehog talking. But other than random guns and blood squirting out everywhere, this was just really fucking terrible. It wasn't even funny. It didn't attempt to be funny. It just tried to be the worst thing it could be. And if they were going for that, then it works, because the typos here are worse than any typo I've ever seen ever. So if you were just trying to make a terrible thing that someone would read, you did a good job. But if you were trying to be funny, you failed. Today's troll pasta is called Sonic CD Abandoned Prototype. We start with "This is fake. This is just to entertain peeps," which I don't think is a good way to start a troll pasta, in my opinion. I don't think you should start it out by saying that this is a troll. I think it's more funny to play it off genuinely, but oh well. You know Sonic CD? Well, I have a story for you. I had the final version of Sonic CD completed, but I wanted to buy the earliest version. It was a prototype, in case anyone doesn't know what that is. I was in a game store looking for Sonic CDs. One said prototype 1556. It was really cheap, and it was only 9 cents. Very believable. So I was going to buy it. It was for Windows 95, the system everyone knows that Sonic CD released for. The salesman came up to me and said, "Whoa there, buddy, that prototype ain't ordinary prototype. You will regret buying it." I thought he was high, so, being the idiot I am, I bought it. I inserted the CD into the computer. Sonic CD menu screen was extremely low budget, but I didn't mind it. The music was bad, the 2D sprites were ugly, and Sonic sprite, ugh. Instead, the menu saying Sonic CD, it said Prototype 1556, with Do Not Play right next to it. I started a new save and went to Palm Tree Panic, but there was no music, no enemies, no Eggman. Good, cause this is Act 1 where there shouldn't be Eggman. Just a void with white trees. Took me 10 minutes of walking endlessly with Sonic to complete Palm Tree Panic. The boss was Eggman's head. It spit out glitch Sonic sprites at me. I had to hit a ton of times to complete the level. Next level, Collision Chaos. The casino level I liked, which isn't a casino level, but hated the boss, was a ping pong like level. It was all purple with corrupt music from Las Vegas playing in a low pitch. Any music can play in Las Vegas, just letting people know. Everything else was black. Just had to launch into some weird slot machine to complete the level, which I don't think that's how that was, but okay, whatever, Trollpasta writer. But I activated a boss. Only one stage man, really? It was a corrupt sprite of Amy Rose. She was flying around throwing metal gray balls at me, similar to the final version of Sonic CD Collision Chaos Eggman's boss. I defeated her in one hit. She emitted a scream of a crying baby and fell to the ground with blood. That hurts. Next level probably is? What do you mean probably? It should be or it shouldn't be. Title Tempest. Oh, just in case you are wondering, there were no time stones and special stages in this prototype. Thank you for telling me. No stress for me. It was all gray level with white objects and water with no color. If it's no color, how are you knowing it's water? Only red outline. It was all parkour. If I fell, I would have to run through the water and reach the land before I drown and reset the parkour part. I finished both stages, but the final one had a bad future. Silver Sonic from Sonic 2, Genesis version, came out of nowhere. Was he the original Metal Sonic boss fight for Stardust Speedway? He charged at me. The battle was epic. I finally beat him after losing my rings 50 times and collecting them back. Hard boss right there. I beat Title Tempest after all that hopping. Quark Quadrant Zone, oh boy, it was messed up. Everything was brown and black, playing weird low-pitched music. I had to run over hills and unused enemies for final version of Sonic CD. One unused enemy was a weird bug that shot light at me in Stardust Speedway, final version. Instead of shooting, it followed me at high speed and it couldn't be destroyed, so I had to run. This zone was insane. The boss was Eggman, but could it really be Eggman? I assume. He ran from something, Metal Sonic. This is where things got scary. A boss theme played, scarier than the US boss theme. I had nightmares for months. Metal Sonic did not look like Metal Sonic. He looked like Sonic, except bleeding and half robotic. Oh yay, my fanfictions are true. He was on a little pad on a wall, on high ground, referencing the Metal Sonic fight in Knuckles Chaotix, or referencing Anakin Skywalker's defeat. Let me explain this. It made after Sonic CD. I could hear the poor Sonic crying in pain and anger. I hate you. He shot down his organs at me. Like, what the fuck, man? He emitted choking sounds when he shot his last organ and died. He fell to the ground collapsing. Man, this was one scary and fucked up boss fight I'll never forget. The next stage was Wacky Workbench, but for some reason it was short and only had one act. I like to call them stages. Who cares? It was white, empty void with unused gears spinning slowly for the final version of Sonic CD I had run through. Just Palm Tree Panic, but suddenly the void turned red and it showed something in the background. It was digital blood saying you can't go farther. Then there were screaming emitting from the game. It was for the whole level. My poor ears. The boss was Silver Sonic again. This guy really loves Silver Sonic. In a drilling machine. No music. I hit the machine and it went up and crashed down and self-destructed, revealing that Metal Sonic's dead body torn to pieces. Looks like Silver Sonic hated that Metal Sonic. Silver Sonic jumped out and fought me combat again. That's literally the sentence. He had new attacks, shooting little yellow dots and planting gray bombs on the ground. Took me 30 minutes to beat him. He did rolling animation and fell down the stage. I completed the level, thank God. The next stage was Stardust Speedway, a stage I love, but in here everything was made of organs with voices saying, "It was Sonic's fault. It was total pandemonium. The annoying enemies came everywhere as poorly made sprites with blood coming out of organs." It played the theme, but poorly played, and the pitch was 0.5 dot. After running a lot going into tunnels made of even more organs, the real Metal Sonic race began. Silver Sonic was in the background giving me a deadly stare because he's the main character of this. He didn't like me. I beat Metal Sonic and I said, finally, this one trash of a game I can complete with one more level. Metal Sonic looked at me and said in a robotic voice, "The fever awaits." Instead of metallic madness, it was true fever. Sonic looked sad and depressed. The corpses of dead enemies and bosses were everywhere. Now the background was static. Final Fever was playing, except in reverse and distorted. The final boss came in. It was Eggman himself. I was confused because he did nothing. He was also invincible until this happened. His colors turned negative, with Eggman's mouth expanding, making him look like a demon. He screamed in glitched out voice, "You are the villain, Sonic," and my Windows 95 suddenly shut. Extremely scared. Wait, what? My Windows 95 shut down with red text and that showed for 1 second saying, "Sometimes you could be the bastard." I was extremely scared, and things could not get any worse. I heard my doorbell ring, and I saw a photo on my house entrance. The photo was of Sega Company building burning down. My Windows 95 suddenly turned on again. I was in a level called Burn Sega, which is probably a very popular level with people online. When I looked at my computer, Burn Sega was the level of hell. There were fire in the background with people screaming. Eggman in demon form was flying around shooting hedgehog heads because he's got to do something. I had to pass hazards of organs and other stuff because that's what I've been doing the whole time. He also brought back the previous bosses because I'm sure you missed them. Soon I finally completed the level, but Silver Sonic came out of nowhere and killed Eggman in one hit. I had to fight Silver Sonic for the last time. He was bloody as hell and his eyes were red and full of anger even though he's a robot and has no emotion. His attacks were faster. Plus, the level had no rings. Took 50 hits to kill him. Soon my Windows 95 exploded and was on fire. I used water to pour it out. When Silver Sonic got beaten, everything in the game exploded with text saying, "I'm taking the computer with me." That's when the computer exploded. Also, the prototype of Sonic CD was destroyed as well. I had to be honest, it wasn't that scary, but it was pretty fucked up. I think Silver Sonic was the real villain in this. That was Sonic CD Abandoned Prototype. It tried its hardest to be a Trollpasta, but in the end it felt like someone's shitty creepypasta that they recycled into a Trollpasta. It went on for too long, and I feel like the jokes in it wasn't that funny. Like, I've read so many better Sonic creepypastas. I've read better Sonic Trollpastas. I've read better Sonic CD-related stories than this. This was shit, it wasn't funny, and I have nothing else to say about it. Today's troll pasta is just called Sonic, and with a title like that, you can tell that this troll pasta is going to be really cleverly written. So, one day I was playing a Sonic emulator. The emulator itself is Sonic, not an emulator with Sonic in it, a Sonic-themed emulator apparently. Then I was wondering if there was any other Sonic games I could download. Okay, well, I'm sure there are. There's plenty of games out there. I was looking at the emulator, so he has to get a whole new emulator. Imagine that. Imagine having to get a whole new emulator every time you wanted to play one game. That's ridiculous. And then I saw one that said Sonic.download. I don't think that's a real file format. The screenshots for it was a creepy image of Sonic falling into a pit. I'm pretty sure that was a theme in a previous story I read, so maybe that's a reference to that. I downloaded it, and all the eyes are lowercase. When I played the emulator, it showed the cutscene, and it's not cutscene as one word, it's cut and scene. With Sonic running, he ran for 10 seconds, pulling out that stopwatch from Sonic.exe. Before seeing Tails, he walked up to Tails, and then Tails said, "Sonic, where have you been?" And it's weirdly capitalized, and I don't like that, in a distorted voice. Sonic had a worried face on him. That's terrible. Then the game froze for 50 seconds, pulling out that stopwatch again. I then said, "What? Wait a minute. This is probably a ROM hack." Because of course it is. Did you see the title? Did you see the screenshots? Of course it's a ROM hack, but it would technically be an emulator hack because you downloaded a whole new emulator. It then showed another cutscene, still 2 words, with Sonic eating Tails' dead body because I guess he was just hungry. He then looked at the screen and it said, "Simply delicious." I was scared. Then it showed a picture of me. I was thinking, how did they find a picture of me that was never posted on the internet? It's because they watch you through your webcam. And how did they even know that was me? Because they watch you. Then Sonic ran to Knuckles and snapped his neck because Sonic.exe is cool, kids. It's still popular. Let's make fun of it. I know that it's 2020, but guys, I'm doing a parody of Sonic.exe in 2020. Come on, just go with it. And ripped it out with his bare hands. Pretty brutal. And there's an exclamation mark and a period. That bothers me deeply. Then I saw a montage of Sonic killing all the Sonic characters in, I guess, every single one to ever exist ever. Sonic said, "There is no hope for you to escape me, Oliver." How did he know my name? Because they always know your name. Then there was a jump scare of an image of Sonic with bloody teeth and the words saying, "Oliver, I'm coming." Oh, I bet you Oliver doesn't want to hear that. Then I looked behind me to see a dead fox and a dead red echidna. How would you even know what an echidna looks like? If it was torn apart like it said in the story, how would you even know that's an echidna? I was terrified to see this. Then I deleted the file. You just deleted the file. You didn't throw away the corpse. You just deleted the file. I'm sure that will fix everything. To the game. And never played a Sonic emulator for 3 months. Good. I still wonder, how did they know my name? Hello, Oliver. Did you miss me? And that was Sonic. It was posted in Sonic, it's about Sonic, and it mentioned teeth, so the thumbnail is definitely going to be Sonic movie themed. This creepypasta, troll pasta, whatever, it's not very original. It does the whole Sonic.exe format, and I've kind of realized that regardless if it's a parody or not, practically every Sonic creepypasta is Sonic.exe. It will always do the same tropes, it will always follow the same formula. Today's troll pasta is called Rouge EXE, not even .exe. So I'm sure this story isn't going to be try-hard at all. Hey, my name is Christopher Williams. I am a big fan. I actually knew a Christopher Williams. I'm not even shitting you. I actually knew someone with that name. I wonder if it's the same guy. I am a big fan of Rouge the Bat. I about to made Rouge call her. I have no idea what that sentence even was. Dark Rouge EXE. I made, and that's one word, by Gmod. I find a perfect picture to cret. I got scare of her right now in ways she eat people. I think that was a sentence somehow, and I think she eats people. I don't know what the fuck's going on. In shock, people blood out, not bleed out, blood out. She was white and gray old picture, and her sister is white rouge. Apparently, she is rouge, and her sister is rouge. She a powerful lady. She hurt people. I killed to her. Line is ... I am dark rouge, and I go take your heart out, and white one ... I am white rouge, I will suck your soul out. She found. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Knuckles in Knuckles, turn head in. She got a creepy smile. Her face in her sister to Thinny, and yes, that does say Thinny, about are powerful to tur darkness. It sounds like someone translated this from a different language into English. There's a difference between a Trollpasta and just absolute garbage. I think I made her in Gmod in my computer. I know you said that before. Start bring picture of Rouge EXE. The one is SMY, I think he meant Amy. Rose head got cut off by Dark Rouge, and 2 is Amy Rose. Okay, so he did mean Amy. Was walking, and it's not spelled correctly, with Sally Acorn, and they saw Dark Rouge and White Rouge. They start to walk them. Amy and Sally run, and screaming loud, they stop. Running, they saw Sonic.exe, and it's not even .exe, I said that by reflex. Running, they saw Sonic EXE, and I said, Sonic, what he doing? Therein, he said to them, you're too slow, and you cannot escape from them in the dark Rouge and White Rouge. I don't know. Are there 2 Rouge? I don't know what's even going on. Attacking them in, eat them to in. Sonic laughing. I said, go by Amy in Sally start. What even is this story? Laughing again. So me, I got, so race. Yes, S race. How many kill Amy in Sally? That are good people. I said, why, start to cry. In, I turn off my computer and see a dark and white outside my window. In Thinny, start a smiley and bleed teeth and bloody pitch black, one Dark Rouge eye in pitch black. In red, they bout disappearing. In I don't believe it, I never star make in horror stuff. No more. I start dreaming about themmy. Dream is dark black. And I was in there with Sonic and 2 sister. And they said, we are God now. We are going to eat you in creepy bin drowned behind me. I said, Bin, what are you doing here? They all eat me. I wark up. I saw a Dark Rouge in my bed. She, her, in her sister again. I have no idea what this story was. There's a big difference between writing something to be purposely awful and just writing garbage, and this is writing garbage. It wasn't funny. I don't know what the fuck went on. I don't know what this author was intending, but dear God, it was just terrible. Like, I don't even know what's the point of writing a Trollpasta if you're not trying to be funny. This is just like the worst thing ever. And like, I don't even know how you could write this. It's almost like, how do you write stuff backwards? Like, this is such broken English. I don't even know how you could commit to being this terrible. Today's Trollpasta has a very stupid name. It is literally called Sonic, All I Did Was Fail, and Now I'm Screwed. With a title like that, you know that this story is going to be short, terrible, and poorly written. It was only a month ago, but I'm gonna tell this, cuz, C-U-Z, it was scary. June 1st. I was playing, it literally just says June 1st. I was playing the mobile port of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Then it updated. No, it didn't. Updating like usual. I don't think that game updates. I've had it. I don't ever remember getting an update before. Fixing the bugs and glitches. If your game's glitching, you got a bootleg. However, one new thing, and he just puts periods everywhere. Like, that's a new thing for this Trollpasta writer. Just make the sentences as short as you can. If this was anyone else reading this shit, they would literally pause every time that he did that, but I'll just read it like it's one big sentence rather than torturing you guys. Was terrifying. On Chemical Plant Act 2, playing as Tails, I failed and drowned. Tails by accident. Oh, so this is like being a parody of Tails abuse. I remember reading that a long time ago. After that, some image flashed of a poorly edited Tails with red eyes. Very spooky, probably blood. At first I laughed, thinking it was a morbid joke to scare me. Then the game crashed. I restarted it to find Sonic wasn't on the title screen. It is. If you guys want the real story of this, go watch my Tails abuse episode, and I think there's a couple other pastas that knocked this off. They're in my crappy pasta playlist. Go check that out. I don't have a screenshot because every time I try to do it, it wouldn't let me. I started the game and ugh. I just have to say, it wasn't a joke. Tails, now possessed, is forced by some voice that sounded like John Stamos from Full House, which is the best person to be haunting your video game, to kill Sonic and Knuckles, and Amy Rose, of all people. The screen then went to static. All I could hear now was screaming, and the I is like the only fucking lowercase, no, we're not complaining about that, was screaming before the game crashed and uninstalled by itself. I have been playing the game since Sonic Runners shut down their servers. You can actually get that now. The fans have made new servers. For those of you guys who don't know, check that out. And I will never play it again. The only thing I got out of this was the screenshot of the bloody eye Tails, even though you said you didn't. And it's poorly drawn. I guess I'll put that on the screen right now. This is a pretty alright Trollpasta overall. It's poorly written. The fucking grammatical mistakes were new, like the way he did it. Every fucking word is a sentence. That's pretty clever. It was actually a parody of an existing story, so that's a plus. The only negative I could say is I wish it was a bit more over the top, like there was some wacky shit, much like the first Trollpasta I ever read did, where they had a dog and Sunny D causing wacky shenanigans. But oh well, I've read worse. The last Trollpasta I read was far worse than this. Today's Trollpasta is called Sonic Scary Pasta. With a title like that, you can be sure things are about to get spoopy. One day, I was all like, I'm going to play some Sonic. Instead of using an emulator, I decided to go on eBay and find a possibly non-working dusty cartridge. I've heard this set up 1,000 times before. It's a good one to make fun of. I found one for $49.99. Now, hold on a second. That's probably the best deal I've ever seen. So needless to say, I bought it. It came in the mail about a minute later. That's some quick postal service. And I opened the box. A spider crawled out. I took out the cartridge, and the cover didn't look like Sonic. It looked like a cartridge with no sticker. That's odd, man. That is really odd. After blowing and cleaning the shit out of the cartridge, because emulators are for emulamers, good one. Yeah, that's right. I popped it into the old Genesis, which too needed cleaning. Now, whoa. I did some weird button combination and a ring sound happened. Then I pressed start and Sonic was a ring. Then an item box. Then an enemy. Right there. I knew this was a cursed cartridge. Oh, this is actually really funny. I love what he's doing. Debug mode. Then it started raining and thundering outside so loud it turned off all the power in the house. Oh, that's really fucking good. I love this story so far. Except for the Genesis. Why did that happen? Because, shut up. Anyway, I continued playing. When I got to the first boss, I was a Motobug. Eggman attacking his own robots? What the shit? After that, I shut the game off and ran outside, and then a ladybug flew on my arm. I was like, I'll put you out of your misery, Sonic. Smash! I smashed Sonic. Then the curse was gone. The power turned back on. I quickly smashed the cartridge with a sludge hammer. This guy has to watch my shit. The fact that he made it sludge hammer after all this fucking time, this is nostalgic. I fucking love this author. And for good measure, the TV as well. Still the best 50 bucks I spent in a while. And that was Sonic Scary Pasta. This is the second best Sonic Trollpasta I've ever read. The Dickard will always be a little step above this, but this referenced a lot of the creepypastas I've already read throughout the years, so it felt nostalgic going back to it. I also really love that instead of something actually creepy, it was just debug mode. I don't know how his TV stayed on after the power went out. I guess that's the only real spooky thing that happened here, but overall it's believable and it's funny. So thank you for writing this, and hopefully you guys liked this video. If you guys liked this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, then share it, and if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.